Hello, my friends. I'm Andrea, and I welcome you to a special edition of updates for the markets. And we talk about the eclipse that we have. It's a penumbral lunar eclipse taking place on March 25th, 2024. So let's see what this means. I would like to structure this short presentation in three parts. So the first part is the general significance of the eclipse. Then I would like to talk about the aspects that are performed around Venus, which is cryptocurrency and currency. And at last, I would like to talk about Bitcoin, to tell you to which degree Bitcoin is affected. There are others which are affected as well, but we know that Bitcoin is the king, so to speak. I would like to start with the significance of the eclipse as mentioned. So first of all, the eclipse takes place at 7:13 a.m. UTC time zone. So for the London location, we do have a moon in the Hasta Nakshatra. So I would like to pinpoint the fact that we have an eclipse in Libra from the tropical perspective, and we have it in Virgo from a sidereal perspective. So what does it mean? From a tropical perspective, it seems that we will have a lot to, see in the market in the next 2 to 3 months, I would say at least, that international relationships and in general negotiations will play a significant role in the development of the markets. It's a eclipse also on the 5th degree of Libra, and 5 is the degree of Leo, which signifies people in power, government, authorities. So we talk about high-level relationships. Then we do have the other perspective from Virgo. So the sidereal Virgo is emphasized, and Virgo has to do a lot, I would say, with health. I think we heard enough in the last years, so it could be that health matters come to the surface as well. But from the perspective of crypto and of markets as such, Virgo is a sign ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is about trading and about news. So we will have a lot of news influencing the market, and it will be quite restless because we do have this eclipse in the Hasta Nakshatra, which is a acrobatic nakshatra. So the nakshatra of acrobats, if you know such people that have this, the sun, for example, at 10 degrees of the sidereal Virgo. So this happens in the first pada around 11 degrees. So to be exact, 10:57 degrees. We see that these people can't really still their hands, so to speak. So they cannot stand still. They need to do something. And it's about the nakshatra of hands. So how can I interpret it? It's about, taking action. It's about having, the skills and really developing skills and having some sort of completion, because the moon is full at eclipses, at lunar eclipses, and we do have a sort of, completion there. And this is important to take into account also for the price movement, I would say, because how I see it is that it will be again a lot of sideways movements. This is something that we can expect around the eclipse and after the eclipse as well. Now, also the position of the moon is important in regards to other planets that influence it, and we do have this eclipse with Ketu, which is the south node of the moon. This will bring some pessimism to the market because its moon rules the masses, and Ketu is about letting go. It's about detachment, lack of involvement, but also about some kind of sacrifice. So it's important to take this into account, that the energy is a bit pessimistic, I would say, but not all is lost, because there are also positive aspects, especially in regards to financial markets. And I would like to dive into this, the aspect of Venus at the moment of the eclipse. So I would like to share the screen and to talk about this. I forgot to mention the fact that Hasta is also the nakshatra of gamblers. So it's sort of, a little bit of slowdown in gambling or decreasing in the risk appetite. This is also a way to interpret the eclipse as such. So now we want to focus on the aspects in the eclipse and especially on Venus. We did have a Venus Saturn conjunction exact on the 21st of March for around the spring equinox. And I would like to invite you to look at that video if you didn't. And this is relevant because it brings a sort of slowdown, restriction, structuring, regulation around cryptocurrencies and currencies in general. So there is a slowdown there. And not only, I think there will be a lot of structural changes. Why? Because if you see here in the sidereal chart, we do have Venus here. You can see it in the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, which is about the scorching star symbolism. So it's something very hot, but also destructive. So some, past rules are forgotten and new rules come alive, I would say. This is a possible interpretation of this. And we do have here, at least for the London location, a prominent placement for Jupiter, but you should ignore it in general because it depends on the location. Nevertheless, Jupiter is in the Bharani Nakshatra, which is ruled by Venus, and it's also connected to this death and rebirth topic. So there is something going on, something ending and something else which will begin, and this is triggered by this eclipse, which in general, the lunar eclipses have this energy of ending, of completion, and there is some sacrifice, sort of. So we lose some freedom maybe, and we will need to be more structured about the way we trade. That would be the, an interpretation of this. Now, I would like to mention about Bitcoin, the fact that it's important to take into account also what happens around the day of the eclipse. So even if the eclipse is not so rich in aspects, I would say, I don't see, a great disaster. We do have on the 24th at first, I would like to deliver the good news. We have a Venus-Jupiter sextile, which will increase prices, will bring some optimism. I want to raise the attention that 24th is during the weekend, and 23rd is a more pessimistic aspect. The ones who are on Patreon or Telegram, or you look at my updates, it's quite a reddish day, and not only for crypto. I would say, although it happens on the weekend, so there is a caution here. It could, happen before or after during a weekday, as always. But what I want to talk about is the Mars-Venus conjunction, which would be a, increased volatility on cryptocurrency. And you see it here. So it's also here in the sky at the moment of the eclipse, and it's quite a wide conjunction because you can see the big difference in the degrees. But nevertheless, on the 23rd, this aspect is enabled in the Bitcoin chart. So therefore, we will have some turbulence around the eclipse, and it will be first a sort of decrease in prices, and then I would expect a increase. So this volatility around the eclipse, with the most important aspects during the weekend, which could really build a roller coaster between the Friday, before the weekend, and the Monday, which is the day of the eclipse. So I advise here care and a bit of caution also in setting especially stop losses. Now I would like to dive into the day of the eclipse and what happens exactly on the chart of Bitcoin. On the day of the eclipse, we do have more negative energy, and we said this happens at 7 a.m. UTC time zone. The eclipse was 3 minutes past 7, and between 7 and 8, we do have negative influences at hourly level on Bitcoin, and we have at 7 p.m. in the evening a Mars-Sun square, which is also a negative influence, showing a lot of volatility in the price action, and it will be more downward. Volatility means a lot of sideways movements, but stronger movements that are negative. And around midnight UTC, we do have to close the day another, negative influence at hourly level. So watch out for the day for sure, and this would be, like a very short time frame on the eclipse, because this can also give a sort of outlook what will happen, but in general there are bullish aspects. We are still in the bull market, so I don't think there is a reason for panic in any case. So it's a temporary turbulence. This is the way I would describe it. Now, I would like to tell also what can we see long term, so to speak, in terms of the significance of this eclipse, is the fact that Bitcoin is affected. So the eclipse really takes place very close to Mercury. So it's about the communication, the news that would really disrupt. And also there is some scientific innovation that can take place. So it could be that it's in the area of ordinals, hard to say exactly, but it's some innovation to be expected, some result that will come in the next month. So this is not really bad, because it will come to, a completion, to fruition, a sort of project that has been developed in the past. And what is also important to take into account is this volatility that is triggered from communication, from news. Even more, the third house is triggered in the sidereal chart, whole sign system, and this shows the fact that, again, we point to communication, to trading, to selling activities that are very important during the next 2 months. Then last, I would like to talk a bit about ETH. Will ETH be more affected by the eclipse? I don't see such a powerful activation of the chart, but I would like to pinpoint the fact that we do have interesting energy here. I would say more on the financial house of gains, and ETH in any case will be bullish as well. So it's not to worry about that. But after the upgrade, it's like also pointing to the network house, the networking house. So this means that something, on the blockchain or some disruptions could really happen in the next months, but they would be temporary, because always eclipses will bring some imbalance, some crisis, and then that problem would be, sorted out, and things will move on. Just be aware of that as well. I would like to thank you for your attention, for liking and subscribing. I hope this was useful for you, and I wish you a lot of inspiration and care during this eclipse trading, and all the best to you. Until next time, be joyful. See you.